In this video, we're going to cover sketch number 3 of exercise 1, and that is going to be this group of nested circles. And so in it, we have one large circle with a diameter of 3, a second circle of a diameter 0.75, which is located right in the middle of the first circle. And then we have a third one with a diameter 0.5, and that is going to be the distance of the center of it, that circle, to the distance of the other circles is a distance of 0.75. So in our assignment, we're going to go ahead and start another sketch. So create sketch. And again, to keep things consistent, we're going to use the same work plane. And now we're going to go ahead and create circles. So with a circle, you have several different options of creating your circles. Um, you have the center diameter circle. That is the one I commonly use for doing my drawings. Basically, what I do is I find the center of the circle and then just specify what is the size of it. There's also the 2-point circle, which allows you to go from diameter to diameter. So one side of the circle and then the opposite side of the circle. Then you have a 3-point circle, which allows you to define two, uh, the circumference of the circle as well as to define the size and the position of the circle. Then there's a 2 tangent and then 3 tangent circle. This is very useful if you have faces of other shapes that you want to kind of draw your circles off of. It'll help them to keep them lined up. So I'm going to go ahead and just keep them all with the center diameter circle. So I'm going to start by drawing my 3-unit circle. So I'm going to figure out where do I want to place the middle of it. So somewhere in space, doesn't really matter. I'm going to go ahead and click to place it, and then I'm going to expand it to get an idea how big, how small that's going to be. So now I'm going to type in 3 and then press enter to create my circle. The second one, which is the 0.75 circle, is I want that to be right in the middle of that. So one way of doing it would be to go ahead and draw out the circle. So I'm going to say 0.75. And then what I can do is drag it from the center and then drag it on top of the center of the first circle. That is one way of doing it. But let's say, for example, for some reason you don't have the center of the circle, you don't know where it lies at, or maybe you're doing a object that has just a rounded corner and you want to line it up with the center of that corner. So the second way of doing that is to use what is called the concentric constraint. What that'll do is anything that has a curve, an arc, whether it's a full circle, half circle, quarter circle, doesn't really matter. If there's a curve, uh, you can select 2 of them, and then the program will automatically adjust so that they're smack dab in the middle of each other. So I'm going to activate the concentric function. I'm going to click on the first circle and then click on the second circle, and now it is perfectly centered. You'll also notice that this symbol right here appears. That lets you know that these two things are concentric. They're lined up perfectly. The simplest way to do it, which is my way of doing it, is to grab my circle and then find the center of that first one and then click on that and then go ahead and place that on there. Because I'm using the center of that first circle as my reference point, that's going to automatically make it concentric. Next, we go ahead and create a third circle. This was going to be 0. I believe it was 5. Let's go back. Yep, 0.5. And what we want to do is we want to kind of keep it the same distance from the center of the circle. So you can see as I drag it around, it can get close or far away from the point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to specify what is that distance. So I'm going to activate my dimension tool, click on the center of one circle, and then click on the center of the other circle. Doesn't really matter which one because they're the same point. There we go. Then place my dimension and then specify how far away do I want to keep them separated. So now as you can see, when I go side by left and right, nothing happens. It just kind of slides across. But when I try to drag it close to the center of the circle, it's kind of like it's repelling it, pushing it away. So this is what is known as a partially constrained shape because it only has one measurement that it knows. So that's going to stay fixed. But if there's any other measurement doesn't we don't know and the program doesn't know, we can go ahead and manipulate and move that shape around. So it's not fixed. Okay. So for now, I'm going to leave that at that. That completes sketch number 3. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Finish Sketch in my project browser where it says Sketch 3, rename that, and I'm going to call that Circles. Okay. The next video, we're going to go ahead and cover this shape right here. And the idea is that this is an exercise in using the line tool to create a polygon.